Everybody, welcome to the Building, Zoning, and Economic Development Committee meeting. Today is Wednesday, March 26th, and it is 4 o'clock. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Chairperson Patty Smith.
Here.
Vice Chair Shweta Bate.
Here.
Alderman Carl Franco.
Here.
Alderman Mike Seville.
Here.
Alderman Bill Donnell.
Here.
5 present.
Thank you. The first order of business is to approve the minutes, so 25-0220, the approval of the minutes from the Building, Zoning, and Economic Development Committee meeting that was held on March 12th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion from Alderman Franco, second from Alderwoman Bade. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion goes forward through voice vote. Clerk, do we have anyone here for public comment?
No, we do not.
Thank you. We have 2 items on the agenda that have to do with the same thing, so I'm going to go ahead and read both items in. Is that okay? First item is 25-0209, an ordinance granting a conditional use permit for a truck stop establishment 2841 use on the property located at the southeast corner of Viola Road and Deal Road. And the second item is 25-0210, a resolution approving a revision to the preliminary plan and plot for property located at the southeast corner of Viola Road and Deal Road.
Good afternoon, Tracy Vasek, Senior Planner with the Zoning and Planning Division. The subject property is situated at the southwest corner of Eola Road and Deal Road with B2C Business District General Retail with a conditional use plan development that was previously called a special use plan development zoning, which is part of the North Bridge conditional use plan development. The petitioner is requesting approval of a conditional use for a truck stop establishment. And let me go ahead and pull up the final plan for you guys. A truck stop establishment is defined as a gas station featuring one or more diesel lane stations equipped with bays specifically designed to accommodate semi-trucks and other commercial vehicles. So I just wanted to explain kind of the definition of what our truck stop under our zoning ordinance is defined as. Concurrently with the proposal, the petitioner is seeking approval of a revision to the preliminary plan and plat. The preliminary plat revision includes consolidating the property into a single lot. As part of the subdivision, the petitioner will be granting a stormwater control easement, city easements, and cross-access easements, enabling the properties to the south to enter and exit through the subject property onto Deal Road. The preliminary plan revision includes the construction of a 5,023 square foot quick trip gas station with convenience store, and it will have 16 fueling positions for smaller vehicles and 4 separate diesel fueling positions to accommodate semi-trucks and other commercial vehicles. The plan shows 48 parking spaces, of which 2 are handicapped, and then there is a right-in access being proposed at the southwest corner of the property along Eola Road, and in addition, there's a right-in, right-out, and a full access, which is being proposed on Deal Road, with the full access being at the northeast corner of the property. There will also be an internal access to the property to the south, and an 8-foot multi-use path is being constructed along Eola Road in Deal Road. Stormwater management facility is being provided, and that's along the east portion of the property. And then in your packet, you do have conceptual building and signage elevations and a preliminary landscape plan, but those will be fully reviewed and approved at final plan time. So with that, if you have any questions for me, the petitioner does have a quick PowerPoint presentation, so I can turn it over to them.
Quick question.
Oh, I have a question.
Should we listen to the PowerPoint first and see if our questions are answered, or do you guys want to go ahead with your
I have a quick
question for
now.
Tracy?
I have a quick question now.
Okay, Alderman
If
Seville?
that's okay. Yeah, and you mentioned this is going to be built on the northwest corner.
I'm sorry, did I say northwest corner?
Well, I thought you did.
It's the northeast corner.
It's the northeast.
North,
So
oh,
Because the
yeah.
maps are upside down.
The map is upside down.
Yes, it is.
So it's the northeast corner.
It's the northeast corner.
Okay.
Yes, the map is upside down, and I should have pointed that out earlier, but the
Yeah.
map is upside
I've
down.
rarely seen the north point down. It's usually pointing up on the
It
map.
does point
so-
up usually.
Okay. So it is the northeast then?
It's the southeast.
Southeast,
It's
okay,
the
gotcha.
southeast corner. So it's
Okay.
basically right north of Scientell's property.
Can we
Yeah.
rotate it correctly?
I can
Yeah, sure.
rotate it
Even though
for
the
you.
words are upside down.
Yeah,
I think it'll
it's
be-
correctly in our packets. I-
The preliminary plat is different.
Is it different? Okay,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was confusing.
okay.
Thank you. That's
Yeah.
all the question I have.
There you
Alderman
go.
Franco.
So that's the right way.
So
We just got to
where-
read upside down now.
where
I
is
know.
the nearest residential area to that?
Ah,
So the nearest residential would be further down and to the west across the Eola Road. There is some residential just south of the Prairie Path.
Molitor is.
Yes, Molitor.
Oh, so it's not,
It-
not adjacent at all?
It is
It's
not
down a little
adjacent.
bit?
There's no
Okay.
residential adjacent.
Across the
to it.
street from the high school
Let me
is
see
where
if
you'll
I
see the
can
first,
Oh,
Mattia,
okay, so
you'll
that's,
see the
that's,
first.
that's a little distance
Yeah.
away. You got
So
something there?
here's the site.
Right, right.
So kind of down here would be the
Okay.
first residential, and it would be on the west side.
Okay, all right, that's all I had, thanks.
Alderman Donnell, did you have a question?
I had the same confusion that Alderman Seville had when I went out and looked at this, and I was looking at the property to the north because of the orientation map. So, and I did look at the property to the south briefly, like a million tiny trees, that's the property we're looking at?
Correct, that's the one that is up.
Okay, thanks.
Alderwoman Big, do you have some questions?
I do. It's next to the school. I mean, it's very close to the school, Mattia
very-
Valley. And any safety concerns do you see for such kind of business next to high school?
No, it's located on two major roads, so I don't feel like that there's going to be any increased traffic due to this. And really, I think that the people that are going to use this are people that are passing by already. So I don't think that people are coming out of their way to be able to use this. The semi trucks will probably be coming up Eola Road anyways if they're going to use it. If not, they would be coming down Eel or down Deal Road, so they wouldn't be interfering. There would be no interference with the school down south of there.
Are there minimum requirements for this kind of business to be that many feet away or meters away from high school?
No, there is
There
not.
is no. And idling of trucks?
So there's nothing in there that says that they couldn't idle. We do have a noise ordinance, so they do have to meet the noise requirements. I did put a condition on there that says no overnight parking of any kind of trucks. So they couldn't have overnight parking or any idling over the night.
So if there are any trucks that are parked overnight, will they be fined? Because we are saying.
Towed.
Yeah, towed
Not
or
fined,
fined.
towed.
Yeah, towed.
Yeah, I mean, Quick Trip could answer that question, but there is a condition saying that they cannot have any overnight parking.
Okay, the reason I'm asking is because I get a lot of complaints from that area about trucks idling from all the other cities and just being there maybe during daytime or evening time or parking and leaving. So I think we don't want to encourage that.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
for safety reasons too. And this area and the other is the enterprise area.
Yes.
So, okay.
I do have a lot of questions. I'm going to hold some of them until
Yeah.
we hear from the petitioner. We have a truck stop
Yes.
type thing
Very
down
good.
Liberty. And I got to be honest, it's ugly. If you're driving down that road and you're caught in the midst of trucks coming in and out, you're caught, you're hung up, there's a train there. It truly has lowered the standards of that entire road. I'm concerned about the same, I have a lot of concerns about this. I'm concerned about the same thing occurring here. And I do disagree with you about the traffic at Deal and Eola Road. When you live in that area and you go driving that way, that is a big intersection, and you get hung up on that intersection, and now we're going to add a bunch of semis to it. So I have a lot of problems with this. I'm certainly keeping an open mind to it. It's an already really busy area. I'd like to know why we chose that area, and what is the benefit to the city of Aurora for that area. And I guess I guess from this point, maybe I've watched too many movies with truck stops in it. I'm going to be real honest, because there's nothing, when I think of a truck stop, alls I think of
And I just-
the attraction of it, the things that happen to it, and it doesn't feel good to me right now. But like I said, I'm going to keep an open mind and listen to this all the way through. But I just, my concerns are absolutely there. That is not what I would ideally want to see in that area.
So I will say a couple things, and then I will pass it over to the petitioner, and he can kind of give his presentation. But I understand that our definition calls it a truck stop. The difference between a truck stop and a regular gasoline is that there's technically 4 bays that can allow trucks to go into. 2 of them allow semi-trucks to go into, and then the other 2 allow bigger commercial, I will say, like box trucks. So there's only two spaces for these semi-trucks to go into and get gas. So I guess I just want to clarify that I understand our definition says truck stop, but these are it's really just a gasoline or a
Treats.
gas station that has a couple extra fuel stations
So
for
how many
semis.
spaces is that then for them to back in, pull in, and idle for 12 hours?
So there's 2 spaces that they can pull through or in, and then there's 2 spaces on the outsides that I believe, and I want to clarify with the petitioner, or maybe he can talk a little bit, but are bigger for like the box trucks.
But there's not like 40 spaces for trucks to pull in?
There
and-
is
and-
there's no parking for trucks. There's no room for them to park.
I told you I've watched too many movies.
We have specifically made no parking for the trucks or for trucks at this location. So they get to pull in, fuel up, and then they can pull out.
Okay, wonderful. Can we get, Alderwoman Bade has a question, then we'll
Yep.
listen to the petitioner's presentation?
How is this different from the stops on highway? Like 88?
Yeah, so
trucks?
those would, like, most of those would have like showers in the convenience store. They would have showers, they would have additional restaurants, like sit-down restaurants. They would have parking that they could stay overnight at. Those are the difference between this and what this is. They will not have any showers in their convenience store. Again, we put a condition on saying no overnight parking for trucks. So this is really just a fuel station for semis, or that accommodates two semis at a time.
And stacking?
Stacking, so we did have our engineering division look at that, and so they feel that there's enough stacking for them.
Okay, the entrance is from Deal?
So they would enter, right, so they wouldn't enter off of Eola, they would enter off of Deal. So they could enter in from the right in, right out, or they can enter in from the full.
Ready?
Yeah, I can see the.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from the petitioner. Thank you, Tracy.
You're welcome.
Well, first and foremost, I just want to say thank you for allowing me to present to you all today, and just want to give you a little bit of history of who QuikTrip is, who we are, who we stand for as a company, and we'll go in a little bit more into the site plan itself and what we're hoping to develop here in the city of Aurora. Just a little bit of a brief history of QuikTrip. QuikTrip started in 1958 in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We've been expanding ever since. We're operating a little bit over 1,100 stores now nationwide, from Arizona all the way to the Carolinas. And most recently, we expanded into the Chicago and the Denver market. In Chicago right now, we're operating around 8, and we'll have 10 by the end of this year. And in Colorado, we do have 14 operating now. QuikTrip, we like to think of ourselves as a socially responsible company. We work with multiple different organizations nationwide. Some of the big ones that we do work with is United Way, Folds of Honor, and Safe Place. Safe Place, if you're not familiar with that, it's a national organization for endangered youth from the ages of 13 to 17. They can go to any QuikTrip nationwide, and we are trained to handle those situations. We'll call Safe Place. We'll get an associate involved to take care of that child, whatever that situation may be. QuikTrip also donates 5% of its profits yearly. Last year, we donated $50 million, and that contribution that we do donate actually goes into the cities that we do operate in. So whatever the 5% of the profit that this store will make will actually go into different charitable organizations in Aurora. We're also very dedicated to our employees. We live by the mission statement to give the opportunities for employees to grow and succeed. I started out as a clerk while going to college, just needing some extra cash, and graduated from college and actually made this career. Most people don't realize that you can make a career with just a gas station, but we actually live by the term more than a gas station. I was in accounting, and now I'm in real estate. I've been here for a little bit over 11 years. Some people may think that's a long time, but that's, you're just starting out with this company at that many years of service. Many people have been here 20, 30, even some 40, 50 years with the company. It is a great company to work for. We give opportunities for all of our employees to grow and succeed. My wife actually works for this company as well. It's overall a great company. We actually care about our employees. We want to make sure that their safety is our most concern, so is our customers. Part of our safety initiative here with this company is that we have state-of-the-art security systems. As soon as you walk into our lot, you are under surveillance. We have audio and video surveillance at all times to keep our customers safe and our employees safe. We work really well with local law enforcement as well. And throughout the whole country, we offer law enforcement's free drink, whether hot or cold, just to thank them for their service, and just so you know, we want to be a partner with them. Just a little bit about the site plan. This is the current site that you see on your screen. And then the next site is what we're presenting to develop. Again, this will have 16 fueling positions. We'll call that double stack 8, or 1 fueling position on each side. And for the diesel fueling canopy, we'll have 2 fueling positions for semi-trucks, and 2 outside bays for trucks that need diesel, like a box truck or a similar truck, and likewise. We do not offer any overnight parking. We do not have any lounges. We do not cater to any trucking. That's every single QuikTrip nationwide. Even if it's considered a truck stop, we do not offer any trucking accommodations whatsoever. We do not, we live by our name. It is a QuikTrip. We're here to, for you to come grab your food and head on the road, and it'd be a convenient, clean place for you to visit, and for you to come back and see us again. When it comes to overnight parking, again, all employees are trained on how to handle a situation, whether to ask someone to go. In this particular instance, there is nowhere for truckers to park. So it's just fuel up, grab whatever they need, and head on the road again. Will be the building elevation. This is what our the site would look like. You'll have 2 front entrances and then 2 entrances on either side of the store. And next we'll have the canopy elevation. So this is our double stack 8s. You can fuel on both sides of the MPD. So it would be 16 fueling positions. And then this is the diesel canopy. So the truckers could only fuel up on the 2 middle ones because semi-trucks require satellite pumping and also require high-flow diesel pumps. So they will not be able to fuel on the outsides. They'll only be able to fuel on the 2 inside MPDs. And that is my presentation. We just request approval of the preliminary plat, site plan, and conditional use permit. We are here for any questions you may have. I'll have my traffic engineer here as well if there's any traffic-related questions.
I'm going to start with, I hope I didn't offend you by my comments that I made, but that's just kind of how I felt. And I did read every word that was written in our packet, so this presentation definitely has helped. It's just when I look at the one that's right down the street and I look at what it looks like, and I don't even believe that there's a gas station there. I think it's just a truck stop. So I was not comparing apples to apples. So again, I'll continue to listen, but I'll open this up to the other alderman.
So I want to make a comment. We had a gas station, not a truck stop, although I think they have a bay for a truck in there, in Montgomery, just outside of my ward. So my constituents in the subdivision adjacent to that were all up in arms about all the extra traffic. And as I told them, and as a number of the people from Montgomery City Council told them, this is not going to be more traffic, and now it's built, and there really is no more traffic. Because basically what a gas station is, you're driving by and you stop. It's not really a destination, especially like on Orchard Road where there's gas stations all over. So I don't know that this is going to create more traffic, as they said. I think it's just, as you're driving by, you're going to go there. So I don't know the complexity of the traffic. If it mirrors what I went through, I don't know that it's going to be a lot more traffic. I just don't see that. And then I would have a question. I look at this. 80% of this facility is going to be for cars. We should probably change the name of this, because when I saw truck stop, I'm like, what are we doing? But when 80% go into vehicles, regular cars, that's kind of a misnomer. So I wouldn't, I mean, we're not going to do that today, but almost like it was freaking me out. I'm like, well, it's really a gas station. It has a couple bays for that.
We've been talking about this.
But it gives you the wrong impression
It does.
initially. And then as I look at this, I'm like, oh, it's a gas station that's going to accommodate a few trucks. So I don't know how you reword that, but I think when people see that, they take a step back, and then when they explain it like you did, it makes a little bit of a difference. So I would suggest that maybe going forward.
Yes, that is one of my things that I am
You're right.
going to be looking at.
Okay, that's all I had. Thank you.
Alderman Donnell.
A couple of things. I didn't see it, but my kids recently traveled to Florida, and they found this Bucky place.
Oh, yeah, we have Buc-ee's near me.
Like enormous. They're here?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, well, I haven't seen them, so, but you're not Buc-ee's. But I do want to follow up on a question that I think the chairman had earlier. What made you decide to locate at this location?
So for our site, we go through a rigorous site selection. Usually before we even go to a city, we're studying the site for about 2 years. We go to a site that the traffic is present. We're not a traffic generator. We're not in that type of business. We're there where traffic is. So we study traffic. We make sure that it makes sense for giving the opportunities for employees to grow and succeed. We want it to be successful. Selecting this site made sense. The traffic is there. We're not close to residential. We're compatible with the surrounding areas, and that's why we selected this site.
And if I could follow, I actually had to go to Lisle this morning, and ended up 2 trips to Lisle. So I got a good chance to look at this, and I actually took the Eola exit. That's a little different kind of exit than you're used to seeing, and I know that you'll probably have to use signage, but that didn't bother you in your decision when your exit is a little different than normal exits.
Yeah, usually, you'll see us right next to a highway. That's whenever we build a full-blown truck stop. Again, it doesn't accommodate any truckers, just more diesel bays. if you will. But this site, we studied it rigorously and it made sense for us, and we believe that this site's going to be very successful, and we're very excited to be part of the City of Aurora's team.
And I just have one more question. This area looks like it's a low area. I don't know if you have any drainage issues, but we've looked at a couple of gas stations, and one of them in particular was pretty close to residential, and they had a fairly elaborate grading and drainage system, so if you had an accident, if you had a spill, that it would be contained. And is that incorporated into your facility?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are actually one of the only gas stations in the nation that uses a double-walled tanks. We believe in our customer safety, so we go above and beyond and spend that little extra cash to make sure that everything stays safe. It is monitored 24 hours a day. If there's any leakage, it automatically stops, and EPA will automatically get called.
I would recommend you add that to your PowerPoint. Double wall tanks. That's going to be important. Alderwoman Bay, do you have questions?
Thank you, Chairwoman. Maybe for Tracy. Do we have any other facility like this in Aurora?
I believe this would be the first one. I don't believe that there is any right now that has separate diesel lanes.
Okay,
So-
and
The only one that I can think of that would be close, but it's still not in the city of Aurora, is the one on Route 30 in Wolf's Crossing. It's a speedway, and that one has the same kind of separate diesel lanes, but that's not in the city. So this would be, I think, our first one.
so it will attract a lot of traffic from other cities to nearby cities.
I don't think so. Like I said, there's other ones around. They're just not in the city of Aurora. And again, as I spoke before, I really think that this is going to be people that are driving by already. So semis that are already coming from the industrial, either east or west on Deal, they will be using it. If there is any semis coming down Eola Road, those would be using it. Other than that, I think it's just going to be normal traffic from vehicles that, from patrons that are in that area.
This is very close to 88, so I would think that will attract more traffic
That could possibly,
from
yes.
there. And
Yeah.
because since there's nothing like this close by.
And I would assume that they would get off and they would go, if they get off, depending on which way they go, they're going to either come down Eola and turn onto Deal, or they're going to come off of Deal and go straight through, go straight into there and then get back onto the highway either way. So I don't think it's going to cause any traffic down south.
school.
I think that it's all going to keep, Deal and kind of up.
Okay, and road condition is again another.
Yeah, they are,
thing.
they're adding a turn lane into the, I'll say westbound on Deal. They would add a turn lane into the station. There's already a turn lane on Eola, so that would accommodate the vehicles going into it. So they've made accommodations for both Eola and Deal. So there's the turn lane already existing on Eola that they would be able to use for the right in off of Eola. And then the others, they are doing the left-hand turn lane into the site.
Okay, and the subdivision in Naperville is also not that close, right?
No.
No, okay. Yeah,
The,
because we.
Just,
No, they're not close at all.
right, so just east of there is the ComEd substation. So that's the majority of it there. And then I think
There
even
is-
a little further than that is where the residential starts in Naperville.
Okay. And hours of operation?
He can answer that, but I believe it's 24 hours.
24 hours.
Correct. That would be 24-hour operation.
Okay.
And sir, would you please, for the record, just give us your name?
Yes, Ali, A-L-I, last name is Buchrest, B-U-K-H-R-E-S.
Thank you.
And I do have my
24 hours.
traffic engineer that does want to speak a little bit about our traffic report.
Okay. Welcome.
Yes, good afternoon, I guess, good evening. Chairperson Smith and members, or Alderman members. Yes, my name is Robert Matko, and I work for CESO, and we were the traffic engineers for this proposed Quick Trip. Yeah, I've heard a lot of different, questions. I think some of them you've answered yourself. I know Alderman Franco, you had a perfect explanation of pass-by trips, and that essentially is what this development would be. As much as 76% of the traffic is coming off of the street. In other words, traffic that's already there. You think about it, how many times do you go to a very specific gas station to fuel up? Usually either your gas light comes on, or you might have a quarter tank of gas left, and you see maybe a certain type of facility you might like. Hopefully it's Quick Trip, and you decide then to pull into the development. So I think that's first and foremost. Also, we work very diligently with not only DuPage County, but also the city staff, traffic staff, and also the township, just coming up with the traffic for this development. Specifically, the county came back, and their comment was off of Viola, just to have that as a right-in only. And there is a full access, the furthest east site driveway on Deal Road, and then there is a right-in, right-out that's just to the west of that. The full access to the east on Deal Road, which aligns with Old Deal Road, will have a westbound to southbound left turn lane proposed, so that will be constructed and paid in full by Quick Trip. Again, that is the only full access for this site. And you can see it's kind of, I call it the candy cane shaped driveway that's off to the east. But again, the impact of this site, granted we're dealing with a larger intersection, but because of the pass-by trips, really those trips only show up at the site driveways. And I think the plan of having a right-in only off of Viola, and then having a right-in, right-out on Deal Road, and then the full access to the east really kind of works well with the site. And we've shown that the traffic does not back up into the site. That would obviously not work for us for this development. So again, I think it was it laid out really nice. Granted, we do have some restrictions on the site driveways. It'd be nice if they were all full access, but we certainly understand how traffic works, and that always can't be the case. So again, any specific questions I can certainly answer regarding traffic that you may have.
No, you go ahead.
Nothing?
Nothing in the moment. I do have a couple of other questions.
Okay.
The wires, there's a lot of wires over there. That's of no concern where you guys are going to be. You're going to be able to, there's a lot of things going on up in the air over there. Yeah. All
The
the utility
electrical wires?
wires, all the utility wires that are over top the, right in that area, that corner is full of them.
Oh, the ComEd?
Yes, yeah.
So we do have a utility coordinator. Anything that's in conflict, we'll work with ComEd on relocating or whatever we do have to do. Construct or, take underground, whatever ComEd feel is necessary to accommodate our development. We're very familiar with working with ComEd.
Do you know what the closest like facility is off of 88 to what you're doing, where trucks would be able to pull over and gas up?
As a Quick Trip facility?
Just a place where trucks could stop and get gas, like right off of 88 in that area. Do you know what the closest one is?
No, I'm not sure.
I'm not, Tracy, are you? Do you know? There's not a lot up and down that way.
Can we check for us?
Yeah, can we look at that before?
Yeah,
COW?
I definitely take a look at that. I know that
Patrick came out
just did
from, he needs to say something.
he just did a quick
Alderman
search.
Smith, you
and
gotta
he
stop
said that
watching
there's a-
movies.
I'll let him speak to it, but he just did a quick search for me.
Good afternoon. Patrick Collins, Assistant Corporation Counsel with the City of Aurora. Just wanted to specifically point out that in the definition section in the Code of Ordinance, Section 49, 2831 is for a gas station. For truck stops, that's 2841. That specifically allows for quote, one or more diesel fuel stations with bays that are designed to accommodate semi-trucks or other commercial vehicles, end quote. That if you want to sell diesel to these commercial vehicles, you're, by default, under the city code, you're stuck with kind of being quote unquote a truck stop. Outside of that terminology in our ordinance, it means nothing. It's kind of a term of art for this situation. Additionally, when the Ola entrance and exit expansion was contemplated, planned, and installed, the plan was to have a gas station in this area. It was just a little bit smaller.
Really?
Yep. Not in the exact areas, in the area of the planning, it's kind of, they were developing it. I checked with both of them, it was just a smaller gas station. And when you look at an aerial map of the businesses around there, within a mile to a mile and a half, there's about 20 different trucking services, facilities, and stuff that would be used, that would utilize this situation for the on and off of where they are for the businesses that are here in Aurora as well.
So it's a needed industry to be in that area. There are a lot of trucks up
Yes.
through that area. Tracy, if you could just kind of lighten up the language.
I would love to lighten up the language, and I will be
Oh,
doing that. The
yeah.
next text amendment that I do will have some changes to that
Yeah,
language
just, you know,
of some sort.
And no overnight is there, but, it's not a rest stop, it's not a place where they're coming to idle, it's not, it's not a place where people are coming to take a shower. If we could just lighten that up a little bit,
Yes,
because.
and I will, I think actually Ed will probably present at committee of the whole, but I will make sure that he clearly states that for the record.
And I also think that you may get asked some questions about the tanks, so that double tank may be a good thing to at least present. Anyone else have any other questions? Alderman Bade, Alderwoman Bade, my
And then,
apologies.
did you want me to look for similar ones? I can
Yeah,
also do that,
just,
and I can send
I
them
don't
over
think,
to you.
I can't grab onto
I
one.
can't visually think of one that's in that area.
No, without going quite a bit one way or
Yeah.
the other.
So are we going to put signs on 88 exit that this Quick Trip gas station is there, or 56, where, like, are people coming
I'm
just
not.
off of 88 and making a stop? Like, what's the plan?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that they could do that if they petition the state, but that's all state regulated, so.
But do we want to do that? Like, I wanted to ask if we have a plan, if we have thought about.
I have not thought about that. I would not, I did not think about that, so.
Okay, because that will cause additional traffic, and it's since
Yeah.
overnight facility.
Yeah, I mean, they
so-
may see it from the highway. I'm not really even sure. if
Any
they'll
signs on
see
the
it.
highway would be under IDOT's jurisdiction. That would all be up to IDOT. Currently, in and around any of those, there isn't.
Okay.
Whereas you see,
Makes sense.
farther, at other, when you're going on long distance trips or
When you see the
where you'll see like
hotels
what's
and
coming up in the
what's
next exit, the
restaurants.
rest of that, there aren't any of those
Rest stop,
contemplated.
Yes.
21
So that is why,
miles.
like,
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure city doesn't have a plan
No,
as
the-
of
No, we
now
do
to
not.
put
City
a sign
can't.
and
It would be-
attract.
It would be all under IDOT, whether if there was any of the billboards or anything else, that would be separate, that the city doesn't have, that'd be an independent agreement that the city would have no contractual, we have no privity of contract with that is the legal term, of that, what a
And-
private company does to advertise their businesses.
Since it's a 24/7, I want to ask, will there be alcohol sold at this place? It's so close to school, kids walk.
I'll let him answer, but I believe so.
Yes. There will be
Packaged
packaged, correct.
by no single bottle selling.
There may be single bottle selling, but it won't be,
I think there is an ordinance with the city that you cannot. Maybe Ed can.
Yeah. Hi, Ed Sieben, Director of Planning and Zoning. So within the gas station, you can sell packaged beer and wine. So the bottle would be a bottle of wine, not a can of beer.
And they have to go through a liquor license.
Yes, yes. So that goes through the city clerk and the liquor commissioner, so. And we've discussed that with them, so they'd have to apply for that. But they would qualify if this is approved.
Okay.
Alderman Denell.
Will you be having electric charging stations this location?
you, on the charging station, so on this one, we are looking into adding a couple of parking spots to where there would be ready to go. QuikTrip believes that anything we do, we want to be the best at, and we're not the best at charging stations. So we definitely want, looking into getting them run the conduit to it and ready to go. And then whenever Tesla or any of those experts in the charging stations find our site compatible with what they're offering, and that's something that we're definitely interested in.
So Alderman, there will be 12 across the street at Edged.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Edge Data Center will have 12 of electric
For public
charging
use?
stations. Yes.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Are you, you two finished? Or go over to Alderman Frankel?
So, as I'm listening to this, I'm thinking about the economic impact. And the fact that we don't have anything like this around here, and we're gonna be bringing trucks off of 88, getting there, getting back on 88, with that 4% motor fuel tax surcharge that we get to use for our roads, I'm looking at this as a pretty good thing economic-wise for us to bring in extra revenue with all those things there. So, assuming that everything else works out, that part of it is pretty good, especially if there's nothing else around there. If you're the only game in town, they're gonna have to come to you, and that's a good thing, assuming that there's no congestion and stuff. So I like that part of it. That's a good thing for us. It's a lot of revenue, so that's my finance hat I got on. I'm gonna take it off now.
It's always when it's not in your backyard, it's easy to look at it that
Well,
way.
but we looked at that, so that's not a factor, so that's a good thing.
Any more questions? Yes, Alderman Seville.
Just a confirmation, it looks like there's sidewalks proposed here, is that correct?
Correct. It's an actual 8-foot multi-use path,
Okay, great.
both on Eola and on Deal.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
Will
Just
they
want to
connect?
confirm I'm saying it correctly.
There's a gravel gravel one right now on Eola.
Yeah.
When when that lot in front of Scientel develops, then we would make them put one in. And then I believe, again, then it goes back to gravel, and then when you hit the school, then there's a path.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I think it also, I think you can get onto the prairie path also.
Alderman Bate has some money she can put into a sidewalk.
That's
Alderman Janelle.
I know a lot of work went into the creation of these plans. Do we, as a city and the planning agency, do we have any rules about north being up? Because this is very confusing to me. And I'm not asking you to redraw it, but I'm thinking in the future.
I will make sure that final will be up. It will be north.
Well, I'm not asking for them to do a lot more. I know it's CAD, so it might be able to be flipped, but it is very confusing.
Well, some of us are very directionally challenged, me, so I prefer north to not be up.
I will make sure that
to
at
be
final
up.
plan
Should be
time,
up.
if
Thank you.
anything,
To be
that
up.
they will be up.
To be up. Alderman Seville.
Yeah, and in keeping with that discussion that we've had, it's always been helpful if you could see an overhead of the property itself.
Did I not put that in there? I apologize. I usually put the aerial and stuff.
It's in there.
Is it?
I
know
thought it was
I
in
had
there.
it. I just might have not put
You
it in
didn't
there.
see it either, did you?
It's in there.
No,
I think
did
it,
not see it, but I.
If it isn't, then I will put it in
Yeah,
before
thank
COW.
you, yeah.
I
I'm
think
looking
it's in
all-
the second one, but I may be wrong.
Is it?
I might have not put it in on accident,
Okay.
but if it isn't, I will put it in there
It'd be
before
helpful for the other
COW.
council members that didn't have ability to partake in this discussion today, so.
Yep.
Thank you.
I will.
Any further questions?
So moved.
Second on the first one?
Yes, I'll read,
First- first
25-0209. We have a motion, please?
So moved.
Motion by Alderman Seville, second by Alderman Frankel. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item moves forward. Voice vote. Second one, 25-0210. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have
And
a-
then can I also just really quickly, I am going to be removing the condition number 1 and number 2, or I'm sorry, number 1 and number 3. They did resubmit the plans for planning and for the fire, and we are okay with them now. So those 2 conditions would be removed.
Would that be on 0210 or the first one?
The
conditions.
The preliminary plan and plat.
Okay, so that's the one we're talking about
Yes.
right now.
Yep.
So removing what two conditions?
Condition number 1, that the documents be revised to incorporate the zoning and planning staff comments.
Okay.
And then condition number 3, that the documents be revised to incorporate the Fire Prevention Bureau comments.
Okay.
And those have been done.
Okay. So we have a motion by Alderman Franco, second by Alderman Seville. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That item moves forward. Thank you guys for being here, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Motion to adjourn.
No need for a closed session. We have a motion to adjourn by Alderwoman Bade and second by Alderman Franco. All in favor?
Aye.
This meeting is adjourned.